a different story than the tape does oftentimes. This was not good Caleb Williams tape, Emery. And you know where I stand on this matter, having been born and raised in Chicago, waiting for a quarterback to come, hopeful that this is it. It was some of the most troubling tape that we've seen in his career to this point. What did you make of the performance from 18?
Outside of the script, it became what we saw last year in terms of like skittish in the pocket, getting himself sacked at times. We saw the ill-advised sack, quote unquote, where he could have just thrown the ball away but stepped out of bounds, and it gave the sack to the defender nearby, Hargrave. And so we saw some of that because in the beginning part of the ball game, we saw him get outside the pocket. We saw him burn the Vikings constantly with his legs. He had over 50 yards rushing tonight. And so we was like, okay, that's where he can do more damage, and it will cause him to not blitz as much because he's going to kill you with his legs. But when Minnesota started blitzing him and he started to hold the football a little bit too long, that's when things started to happen. And the dump balls were there. He was big game hunting, I felt like. He wanted to hit that intermediate, hit that deep throw when you had the backs out in the flat that he didn't really take advantage of, unlike J.J. McCarthy.
It started like a dream debut. Caleb Williams, 10 for 10 to open the game. The Bears score on their first drive for the first time in over a year. Soldier Field was electric. Fans thought, this is it. Our guy has arrived. But then, everything unraveled. The Vikings adjusted. Brian Flores threw exotic blitzes, shifted coverages, and Caleb looked lost. Holding onto the ball too long, ignoring open checkdowns, taking unnecessary sacks, and trying to play hero ball when the game called for poise. By the fourth quarter, the Bears had -1 yard of offense. Let that sink in. A double-digit lead gone. 6 straight third down stops by the Vikings, and Caleb, he wasn't answering the call. Even worse, across the field was J.J. McCarthy, a rookie, making his first career start, down a left tackle, missing key weapons, and still, he outplayed Caleb Williams. That's the part that stings. This wasn't just a loss, this was a reality check. Caleb has the talent, no doubt, but in week 1, he looked like a rookie in over his head. And Bears fans, we've been through too many false starts. This wasn't the tape you want to see from your supposed franchise QB. Not in a home opener, not after everything this city has waited for. Monday Night Football, Soldier Field, lights shining down, and for a moment, just a moment, it felt like the whole city of Chicago was finally about to exhale. Caleb Williams came out looking every bit like the #1 pick we've all been waiting for. 10 straight completions to start the game, a poised drive that led to a touchdown. A real, living, breathing first quarter score. That's something we didn't see for a full season under the last regime. It felt different. It felt like hope was finally taking the field in navy and orange. You could feel the momentum. You could feel the belief in the stadium, through the screen, in every living room where a Bears fan was watching and whispering, this might finally be it. Then the defense stepped up. Now shown right with the pick 6, Soldier Field erupted again, 17-6. This wasn't just a lead, it was dominance. Caleb was calm, the defense was aggressive, the fans, we were losing our minds. We were ready to crown a new era. This wasn't just about one game, it was about years, decades of waiting, and finally thinking we were watching the page turn. But then, the fourth quarter happened. Let's not sugarcoat it. The Bears collapsed. A double-digit lead evaporated into thin air. Minnesota, with rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy making his first NFL start, clawed their way back. They made adjustments. Brian Flores changed his coverage looks, started bringing heat, and Caleb Williams, after such a beautiful start, began to struggle. Passes started sailing, Reed slowed down, he held onto the ball too long, he got skittish, he missed checkdowns, he took a sack by simply stepping out of bounds instead of throwing it away. And suddenly, the poise we saw in the first quarter was gone, just like the lead. By the end of the fourth quarter, the Bears had racked up exactly -1 yard of total offense. Let that sink in. A team with a lead, with a franchise quarterback, with momentum, couldn't gain one single positive yard when it mattered most. That's not just a stat. That's a gut punch. And here's the part that hurts even more. On the other sideline, J.J. McCarthy didn't blink. He didn't have his starting left tackle. He didn't have his second best receiver, but he made throws. He used his legs. He orchestrated a comeback on the road in his debut against a team that had this game in their hands. Caleb, he finished 8 of 19 in the second half. That's a 42.1% completion rate, 28th in the NFL for week 1. And let's be honest, some of those misses weren't even close. That beautiful scripted opening drive, that was the high point, because after that, it felt like we were watching a totally different quarterback, one who wasn't seeing the field, one who was chasing plays instead of making them. Now look, I'm not here to give up on Caleb, far from it. I still believe this kid has the tools, the arm, the mobility, the confidence, but what I saw in that second half, that was rookie ball. That was fear creeping in. That was a kid who still has to learn how to win in the NFL when the defense punches back. But here's the reason I'm still fired up and why you should be too. After the game, Caleb didn't deflect. He didn't make excuses. He owned it. He said, and I quote, "This is just the start. It's not the end. We're going to keep growing. We're going to stay passionate about this team and about winning." That's what you want to hear from your quarterback after a loss like that. That's leadership. That's maturity. That's a guy who's not running from the challenge. And he's not alone. Ben Johnson, the new head coach, admitted he needs to go back and look at how the offense dried up. He knows adjustments are coming, and you better believe they're going to come back with fire next Sunday. Let's not forget, this was week 1. This is a brand new offensive system, brand new play caller, new QB, new O-line, new culture. And we saw in flashes how dangerous this team can be. The problem is consistency. The problem is finishing. But those things can be fixed, and they will be. The Bears go on the road next to face Detroit, a team that just lost to Green Bay and didn't look all that great doing it. That game is a test. That game is a statement opportunity. It's the moment Caleb can show the NFL and the fans that what happened in the fourth quarter on Monday night was a learning experience, not a red flag. And let me remind you of something else. This team, this fan base, this city has waited decades for a real quarterback. You think we're going to jump ship after one rough half of football? Not a chance. We've seen worse. We've survived worse. And now we have a front office building through the trenches. We've got a head coach with a brain, not just a clipboard. We've got receivers who can separate, a defense that plays fast, and yes, we've got Caleb Williams, the most gifted quarterback prospect this city has ever seen. You want to talk about perspective? Go ask fans from around the league if they'd take Caleb after one game. Every single one would. This isn't about panic. This is about progress. And the only way to make progress is to take the hits, learn, and get back up. That's what this team has to do. That's what Caleb has to do. And that's what we as fans have to do. Stick with this team, demand more, but believe in the growth. So now I ask you, what did you see from Caleb Williams in this game? What gives you hope? And what worries you going forward? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you love this team like I do, if you felt that heartbreak but still believe in the future, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, join the Bear Down Report family because we're just getting started. We're going to be here every step of the way this season through the highs, the lows, and everything in between. This is our team, this is our moment, and we're not backing down. Bear down.